So this is Santa Clara University. We just made the March Madness tournament. So I thought maybe if you don't know much about the school, you could come by and just take a look over here. This is the mascot. It's a Bronco. It's just like the Ford Bronco. Small campus. And I went here in 2002 is when I graduated from the law school. The law school now is kind of in the corner, but when I was going to school, it was on campus. So I've got a pretty good idea of what the campus looks like and feels like. The main thing is it's a small campus, so you can probably walk across the entire campus in 10 to 15 minutes. Quite a change when I came here from UC Davis, where you got to have a bike just to go back and forth to class. In terms of the ambiance, beautiful weather. It's a Catholic institution, a Jesuit institution, and so they don't just own the campus; they own a lot of the property around the campus. There's a library over here. A lot of upgrades since I graduated. I'm coming back because as an alumnus, I can go back to the gym. The team this year, a lot of people are focusing on people who can score, but actually the heart and soul of the team is a guy called Mahi, M-A-H-I, and the reason that everyone else gets open is because of him. And he's quite a phenomenal player. He's not getting the attention he deserves. My favorite player is number 15. But it's really interesting because Mahi, whom I just mentioned, is Canadian. Know anything about your basketball college history? Steve Nash, again, Canadian. The second most famous player from this campus is Williams, Jalen Williams. Interesting situation. Both of his parents went into the military, so he's a military brat. And that's interesting because that's sort of the two, I suppose, kind of the twin factors in America's success. Number one, immigration, right, from all over the world, not just Canada. We steal talent from everywhere else, and then you have effectively the military promising, especially with respect to African Americans, promising to raise their standard of living compared to in the old days when obviously there weren't as many options available for that particular group. So Jalen Williams really is, without possibly realizing it, kind of the heart and soul of the United States, but so is Steve Nash and so is Mahi as well. Now, what's interesting about all of this is that we're going up against Kentucky. Kentucky, from what I understand, I haven't been there. I've been to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm a big fan of Muhammad Ali, but the campus was known for being one of the most racist campuses in the entire country. And I know this because I'm a huge John Wooden fan, and Coach Wooden coached UCLA and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And he remembered that was the worst place that he went to because Coach Wooden is a very soft-spoken, very much a Protestant, sort of quiet, very dignified, somebody who really believes in principles and is kind of shocked when nobody else does, believes it on the same level as him. And when he went down there, it was so segregated that he blew his top at one point. And that's something, if you know John Wooden, that just doesn't really happen unless something's really wrong. So what's interesting is you're going from which is a private school, tuition is insane. But it also explains, like I said, why is America successful? It's got a lot of money, but it uses that money to attract talent from all over the world. At the same time, the military oftentimes raises up the standard of living for people who are excluded from the market or excluded from really, really expensive places like this one. Not necessarily because of race, although that was certainly true in the past. So you've got really a kind of a success story, whereas Kentucky is a public school. And it's kind of interesting how far they've come as well. But you've got this clash between a public school with a very horrible past because of its, and this is not something that they had to do because Louisville, Kentucky, you've got Muhammad Ali down there, right? You've got Hunter Thompson. So this is really sort of a clash between history and also between programs that, one of them is honest. Santa Clara, as far as I know, has never had an academic violation. Of course, Kentucky's got a lot of problems in the past. So you've got a lot of contrasts between this matchup, and I'm not surprised a lot of people want to favor Santa Clara because, again, you're dealing with, quite frankly, a really, really interesting history, but also you're dealing with a situation where the campus, I think, understands that it has to attract talent from elsewhere. When I was going to school, it was Australia. A lot of the people coming in were from Australia. One of the centers now was born in Germany. So again, you're looking at, within the WCC, you're looking at St. Mary's. I think they've got an Eastern European connection. A lot of players from Lithuania. I haven't followed Gonzaga. So I guess this year, because of the 3 teams from the WCC are now in this tournament, for the first time in probably in my lifetime, I think. So it'll be really interesting to see, particularly with this first round matchup, which is such a contrast. And hopefully we'll see where Kentucky is going. Hopefully they won't have so many violations moving forward, academically or otherwise. Let's see what happens, and then it should be a pretty nice Cinderella team, especially with that Canadian connection coming out again. Not a whole lot of buzz out here. Spring break just finished. I went to the bookstore. Not a whole lot. You would think that we made the tournament, but it's a small school. They got rid of the football program a long time ago. That was a big controversy. And so really this is a basketball school, but also a soccer school as well. The women's soccer team is one of the best in the whole country. So you've got these competing forces going on. The women's soccer team, Brandy Chastain, I don't know if you remember, World Cup, took off her shirt, got the sports bra with Nike on there. That's this school as well. So kind of surprised that not more people are sort of openly wearing the Steve Nash jerseys and all that, but it's also in keeping with the character of the school. It's kind of understated, and again, just sort of aware of its privilege. It's just not just within California, but possibly within the whole world. It allows it to attract talent from all over the world.